Drifting is something that fills me with passion. It's the sound that stirs my soul, the screeching tires, the spinning. All of it brings me immense joy. Being a mother of two, when I participate in drifting competitions, I enter a completely different world, a world of passion. Men in general are intimidated by women's freedom here in North Macedonia because they believe that the women will dominate them and they will lose their masculinity. That's why they are afraid of women participating in male-dominated sports.
Ajshe Avdiji isn't afraid of shaking things up. She's one of the top women in the country's drifting scene. Excelling in motorsports is especially rare for members of the country's Albanian minority, which has particularly strict gender roles. But she feels best behind the wheel.
On the drifting track, I push myself to do my best and challenge the boys at the same time.
Skopje, North Macedonia. It's just a day before Ajshe's first official race, and she's getting ready to pick up her newly modified car. Her husband and two sons have surprised her by giving her trusty drifting car a tune-up and new design. It's just returned from mechanics in Albania. Ajshe's been drifting for 3 years and has been slowly improving her car all along. It now boasts an Albanian motif on the roof and upgrades under the hood. The car might be 20 years old, but the BMW 3 Series, popular amongst drifters due to its rear-wheel drive and tight cornering, serves her perfectly. Drifting, which originated from racing to become its own motorsport discipline with a variety of techniques, all focused on spectacular cornering and maneuvers, is growing in popularity in the Balkans. But like car culture at large here, it's dominated by men. Ajshe and her newly improved car stand out.
The surprise was very exciting for me. The changes amazed me. For example, the color is different, and now there's an eagle on top, which fills me with pride. The handbrake has been upgraded to a hydraulic one, and the tires have been changed for sharper cornering.
34-year-old Ajshe grew up as the oldest child of 4 children in Chire, a district of Skopje where most of the city's Albanians live. Like many other Albanian girls, Ajshe was forbidden from attending school when she reached the age of 14 by her family. Her grandparents in particular were worried boys would be interested in her, a practice that remains fairly common today. After intervention from other family members, she returned to school against her grandparents' wishes. Tensions with ethnic Macedonian students were another challenge. Ajshe and other Albanian students were often bullied and even physically attacked. She carries these experiences with her into her drifting.
When I was banned from continuing my education, I had to fight as an Albanian student, taking a risk to attend school. That made me stronger, proving we can succeed if we have willpower and determination. I think collaboration and my husband's support are significant, allowing me now to succeed in the male-dominated sport of drifting.
Ajshe is tasked with running the household and taking care of her children, even supporting them with their homework. While still taking on traditional roles of woman and motherhood at home, she finds release in drifting. Though balancing the two isn't always easy.
I wake up in the morning, have coffee with my husband, then we prepare the children for school. One goes in the morning, the other in the afternoon. We work together importing cars from Switzerland to Macedonia. Being a mother of 2 children and continuing in this type of sport is a bit difficult. I thought it would be easy, but it really requires care for the children. So my mother-in-law and mother usually take care of them when I have appearances at meetings and drifting events. The family gets involved whenever I need to participate in these kinds of races.
Traditionally, it was rare for Albanian women in North Macedonia to drive cars, which was considered a privilege reserved for men. This tradition still influences perceptions today, and Ajshe sometimes hears disparaging remarks. She also initially faced some ridicule when she joined the drifting club. But her mother thinks differently and admires her courage.
I'm very surprised. She has always loved cars. As a child, Ajshe played with cars, not dolls. I'm very proud of her for achieving this. In my time, these things didn't exist. It wasn't even considered that a woman should have a driver's license. We didn't dare mention it. We just baked bread, entertained guests, raised children, no school, nothing. We only knew those things. Driver's licenses, cars, we didn't know about any of that. I'm very happy that young people today are achieving so much, working for themselves and becoming independent.
Now it's time for Ajshe to give the new clutch and wheels a test run. She's been training a year for her first official competition, covering all the expenses herself. She'll be judged on how accurately and stylishly she can pull off her drifting maneuvers while keeping her wheels spinning at all times. Her family are nearly as excited for her debut as she is.
I'm proud that my mom drifts, and when I grow up, I want to be like her. People say women shouldn't drive, but I told them women have the right to drive and do everything. I've always been interested in cars. When Ajshe told me she loves cars too, she said we need to do something special, something unique. I'll always be by her side. I'll support her to the end. We even have plans for international competitions. This is one of our main goals.
After the dissolution of Yugoslavia, North Macedonia declared independence in 1991. It's a multi-ethnic state, with ethnic Macedonians making up over half of the population and Albanians constituting about 24%. It's been a NATO member since 2020 and a candidate for EU membership since 2005. Full membership seems distant due to EU critiques of political, judicial, and legal rights. Albanians are the country's largest ethnic minority. The capital, Skopje, is divided by the Vardar River, which serves as an invisible border with Albanians in the south and Macedonians in the north. Relations between the two have been tense, and the last major conflicts, including violence, occurred in 2001 in the wake of the Kosovo War. These tensions can even make the path for Albanian-Macedonian athletes difficult. More widely, Albanians face economic disadvantages and are overrepresented among the unemployed and underrepresented in state employment.
There was a division of language, religion, and nationality in 2001. Since then, I believe, the ethnic tensions between Macedonians and Albanians began. In North Macedonia, we have many talented Albanian athletes who have no opportunities to showcase their talent due to lack of resources, financial issues, and the overall lack of state support. I believe we are discriminated against in this regard because as Albanians, we are treated as second-class citizens compared to the Macedonian nationality.
While the 2001 Ohrid Agreement officially granted Albanians many rights, long-standing tensions didn't dissipate overnight. Ajshe finds herself confronted with the traditional gender values within her Albanian community and a fight for acceptance in broader North Macedonian society. Historian Ajshe Avdiji argues that the country's divisions are deep-rooted.
The reasons are numerous. Firstly, we live in a society that carries the legacy of the former shared state, Yugoslavia. where I believe Albanians were portrayed negatively in social tendencies and lifestyles. This, above all, is a legacy of past generations. On the other hand, we have different cultural and linguistic values and diverse identities that do not have similarities, unlike the similarities shared by Slovenian or Yugoslav peoples, where mutual understanding exists. Thirdly, a significant issue is nationalism, which is reinforced by political elites. Here, I mean the political elites of Albanian political parties, as well as the elites of Macedonian political parties.
Ajshe excels despite the tensions. Drifting is an escape from it all. And today is finally the big day. Flashy cars, tons of spectators and car lovers flood to Skopje to take in the atmosphere and hope to catch glimpses of burning rubber. Burhan Ali is the head of the drifting club. Ajshe is the only woman among 20 men practicing drifting as a sport.
Drifting is currently very small. There's no support for us as a club organizing such sporting events. But interest is growing. The role of women is minimal, with very few female competitors.
The show begins. Today, competitors are performing the power slide, ripping in tight circles with their rear wheels spinning like mad. There were lots of flashy displays and even some accidental trunk pops. Ajshe's now in her element. It's her turn to show her skills with the improved car. Her complete focus is on how much throttle to give, how much counter steering.
It was a pleasure, though the space was tight. I was a bit nervous because of the audience, but I felt confident while drifting.
Ajshe finally has her first official competition behind her. Now she wants to push on to even bigger drifting events. She's proven that women do have a place in motorsports and can even reach the top.
Ajshe Avdiji!
Along with the lasting memories, she'll be taking home the trophy for Best Drifting category.